Mr. Sports Travel here in Lima, Peru. We're going to talk some basketball and educate the Americans about what's basketball like in Peru. And here to help us is 17-year-old Rodrigo from Lima. Rodrigo, thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for the interview.
Now, Rodrigo is an impressive young man. He's bilingual. His favorite player, Jason Tatum, is that right?
JT,
Jason?
yes sir.
JT, and you play small forward.
I play small forward, yeah.
And what is the name of your club team again?
It's called HB Lions, right?
HB Lions. Now, Rodrigo is going to be playing later tonight, and I'm going to see my first basketball game in Peru, and they're playing a team called Círculo Sportiva, which is actually the name of the venue here in Lima. We're about 5 miles southwest of central Lima. Is that about right?
Yeah.
What's the name of this neighborhood?
It's called Jesus Maria.
Jesus Maria neighborhood.
That's our neighborhood.
Now, Rodrigo, you're 17. You
Actually,
said
16.
16. You're
Yeah.
16. I'm right. He's
No,
16 years
okay.
old. Handsome looking 16-year-old. Okay. You said that you started playing basketball when you were 7. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. I played the first time I played basketball was at my school called Colegio Italiano Antonio Raimondi. That's the first time I played.
Now, was that at the school where you did your studies? And how old you were 7 then?
I was, yeah, about to.
So in the United States, you can play basketball in elementary school, middle school, and high school.
Yeah.
Can you do that in Peru or no?
Yeah, here in Peru, the division, it's about like U17, so it starts like U12, U15, U17, and they just go up. So it's
But are those clubs or are those at the schools?
both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, do you currently play for your school or no?
Yeah, I'm actually playing tomorrow. I'll play tomorrow at my
So
school.
tonight he's playing for a club.
Uh-huh.
Tomorrow you're playing for a school.
For my school, yeah.
Now, what time is your game tomorrow?
Tomorrow it's 4 p.m.
And is it at the school?
Yes, at my school.
So you do play the equivalent of high school basketball. But tell us the difference between the high school basketball and the clubs. What's the difference?
So the main difference is the level, because if you play good at your school, you can join a club, and it's or pay or without pay, but you can play at a higher level here in Peru, because the school level is not good at every school, so it's just a few schools that are good here,
Okay.
and they compete just against other schools.
Okay.
But the main focus here in Peru is the club against club,
Okay.
and that's the main goal you want to achieve as a young basketball player.
So basically, if I'm understanding what you're saying, tonight I'm going to see a more competitive caliber of basketball than I would tomorrow, probably.
Yes, for sure.
Okay, very good. Now, you mentioned to me when you were 14, you were a very good athlete, you did the high jump, and you were a national champion, is that right?
I was indeed, yes.
What made you decide, now you're 16, to focus on basketball?
I think I love the game basketball more than I do high jump, and I don't know if I got a shot at a scholarship, but I think I do better doing basketball than high jump right now.
Okay.
So that's made me change my mind.
Okay. Now let's talk about your goals. So you and I were talking before we started the interview that you've got a main goal and you've kind of got like a backup plan.
Yeah.
So explain, and this is very impressive for a 16-year-old. So explain your main goal and your backup plan to the reader, maybe to the listener.
Okay,
You
so
will.
my main plan, my plan A, as you can call them, is to go play at in the US college level. I'm talking about D2, D3, even D1 if I can get to it.
Now, do you have a favorite college or not really?
You know, my favorite college is actually Duke University.
The Blue Devils,
Yeah.
the Dukies.
I watch them all the time.
Now you're not going to get a scholarship in North Carolina. You just ruined it.
Okay, so that's my main goal, but I know it's kind of hard even in Peru because there's zero.
But you gotta have a goal. You gotta have a goal.
Yeah, it's tough, but I have a mind on it, so I'm working every day hard and hard just to get it.
So your main goal is to play in the U.S. What's the backup plan?
It's going really with my school. There's an easy way to get there, and I'm like half Italian.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So half of your family's Italian?
I have the national card.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I can go there and go to the national college there. So
And you can go to a college there?
yeah.
Now, do you speak a little Italian?
Yeah, I do.
Wow, he's 16 and he speaks 3 languages. I'm already impressed, regardless of what happens with the basketball.
Yeah, that's my school. That's all things to my school.
Now, talk a little bit about the Italian-Peru link. Is there a link tonight at the gym? Because it's called
Yeah, Circolo Sportivo.
Italiano. So what's all that about? What's the linkage there? Do you know?
I'm actually don't know, but it's Italian, so I know a lot of Italian guys that play there, and yeah, that's about it.
Because
Yeah.
basketball is pretty big in Italy. You
Yeah.
know, you've got the Italian league. There's teams in Eurobasket that are from Italy. Okay. What else do you think the U.S. audience should know about Peru basketball? You mentioned to me that, in your opinion, it's definitely not in the caliber of Brazil and Argentina.
I mean,
Is there Peruvians overseas that we can look at and say, hey, they're helping grow the game back here? Or what needs to happen, you think, to grow basketball in Peru?
I mean, the main thing I'm in my head right now is that athleticism is not the same here than in the U.S. for sure. I mean, we are not looking at 16-year-olds that are 6'8" or 6'9" that we see in the U.S.
You're about, what would you, I'm about 6 feet maybe?
Yeah, 6'1" maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. I'm 5'9" and shrinking, so we're going to say 6'1" on you. And you're going to go taller, I promise.
Yeah, and that's the main focus. But we're trying to improve here. I mean, we have a professional league here in Peru. It's, as I say, it's
Liga
called
1, right.
La Liga 1 Peruvian League, and you can watch it on Facebook. The professional games, I mean, the professional games are good. I don't know if I'm mistaken with we have an ex-G League 1 player here.
Okay.
Here.
Okay.
It's called last name Bolton. I don't know.
That's okay, don't worry about that. So we got a former G League player here, and that's helping elevate the caliber of play.
Yeah, that I say this year has been the best we have seen in America.
Okay, all right, so it's making progress.
Yeah, it's making a good progress in my opinion.
Do you think what needs to happen is someone like you, Rodrigo, going to the U.S. and kicking butt and then raising the elevation of the game and then coming back? I think that needs to happen.
That needs.
Maybe you're the guy.
I'm not.
Are the Celtics your favorite team as well?
Yeah, I would say pretty much.
Has it always been the case?
That's not always been the case. I was a Golden State Warriors fan.
Oh, are you riding the bandwagon only on the good teams then, Rodrigo?
Yeah, but then I changed because I love the Celtics and I watched them play
You're
once.
riding the bandwagon, Rodrigo. I got
No,
you. I'm
no.
just kidding with you, man. No. But it's good that you set goals. As a career coach, I also am a writer, but I'm a career coach. For 16 years old, for you to have a plan A and a plan B, that's pretty impressive to me. And the fact that he speaks 3 languages, pretty darn good stuff. So, how many teams play, do you know, in the Liga 1, the top professional league here?
So
About.
Okay, right now it's divided in 2 leagues for the U17. It's called Gold and Silver.
Okay.
Kind of thing.
Gold
Yeah,
and silver,
we have.
okay.
I think 10 teams and 10 teams, so it's 20 teams, and it's a relegation. So if you're in gold, I don't know.
Right, so if you're the worst team, you get dropped down. When you win
and
the
then
championship, you move up, like in football here. Right?
and you can go,
Relegation.
yeah, it's relegation. You can go champion and
So
gold and
just to
silver.
understand, so in your league tonight, we're going to see you play. Are you playing in the first game or the second game?
First year.
First game, okay. In that league, there's 19 other teams.
Yes.
Okay, wow, so it's a 20-team league. Now, how many games is the season? How many games will you play in this he's in an under 17 league, he's 16 years old. How many games will you play?
We play in 2 periods. It's called Apertura and Clausura. So
It's like 2 seasons.
yes, 2 seasons.
And how
we
many
have-
games per season?
I think it's 15, 20 maybe games
Each season.
each season.
So
yeah.
you might play 30 to 40 games.
Yeah.
Now,
That's what-
we have to keep in mind, he's still high school age. Now, in your high school, you have your game tomorrow night in high school. How many high school games is there in a season here in Peru?
I play about right now. I think just 7 games, and then the playoffs that are.
So the high
3
school
games.
season's very short.
Yeah, it's very short.
7 games and then the playoffs.
And then the playoffs.
Now, just going back to another question, and we'll kind of wrap this up. I think the top professionally, which you mentioned the G League player, the professional league, because he's an amateur, they finished last month or earlier this month, right?
Yeah.
Do you know how many teams there are in that league and how long that season is? If you don't know, it's okay.
I think there's about same time 10 teams in the first league, and then there's a second league.
Oh,
first
so
division.
there's a second professional league too, like
it's
a B league.
Yeah, like a B league. It's called Superior, and then there's first division.
So in the Superior League, which is the top one, right?
Yeah.
There's 10 teams.
Yeah.
How many games do they play typically?
Ooh, they play a lot of games. I don't know the number right now, but they play a lot of games.
Would you say it's more than 40, less than 40?
Yeah, more than 40, and playoffs too.
Okay, so there's this, like in South America, even with the football, which is the #1 sport throughout South America, except for Venezuela, you've got the Premier Leagues for football, right? And then you have a relegation system where the worst team goes down to Series B, and the team that won Series B, the second league, the second league being the same thing, gets elevated. So the basketball is the same thing here.
Yes.
Now in that second league, is there also about 10 teams?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, and they play more, about 40 games, or a little bit less than that?
I think it's about less.
A little less than that.
Yes,
Yeah.
less than 40 games.
So it sounds like playing more games, getting more experience to come here, more Americans to come to Peru. And Peru, by the way, a beautiful country. I'll post my pictures. I went to Machu Picchu. I just came back from Paracas, where the desert meets the sea. It's beautiful. Can't you see? Look at my sunburn. I'm still pretty. And Lima, a great cosmopolitan international city, and I'm only seeing a smidgen of the country. You've probably seen more of your beautiful country.
I love it.
Yeah, so, and very friendly here. The people are great. So I think with more experience, playing more games, and I think the key is getting a Peruvian to go to the United States and succeed. Obviously, when you think about Argentina, Manu Ginobili, right? Right, when you think about France, Tony Parker, when you think about Germany, Dirk Nowitzki. So it takes that, getting that person to either a top collegiate or ideally for NBA level to just make it, right? And to help grow the game. So I think there's possibility here. If it's not Rodrigo, it's going to be someone in the future. Rodrigo, thanks for talking to Mr. Sports Travel. Me and Rodrigo got to get to the gym. He's got to get ready for the game. I got to get ready to film the game and shoot the game with the photograph. We'll see you later next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.